Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the AJ Roberts Show. And today we are joined by none other than Pascal Najadi, former Swiss military, here today to talk to us all about what we've been through in brief, but what beautiful things we have to come. I love bringing good news. I love bringing the pieces of the jigsaw pieces together that you've all been missing on this show. And Pascal and myself are going to do that for you today. Pascal, welcome back, brother.
Yeah, AJ, thank you very much for your time and pleasure. I'm talking to you from Paris, where we also reside, Isabel and I.
Fantastic, brother. I really appreciate your time. I know how busy you are. We're getting so much content out there, all these meetings you're having. You're a very sought after man. So I and the audience do really appreciate it. Just to give the people listening just a little bit of background about yourself for those who maybe are not familiar with your work and have maybe come across you for the first time.
Sure. Look, it's very simple. I'm a Swiss citizen, former military officer, Swiss Air Force, and born and raised in Switzerland. My mother is Swiss. My great-granduncle was president of Switzerland during the Second World War, and Federal Counsel and head of the military. And today you call it defense minister as well. My father was Persian, got assassinated in Malaysia 2013. He was an international banker. We had banks. I grew up in Switzerland. I went into investment banking. I was then working for Merrill Lynch. I had offices in New York and in London. Then based in London for 12 years, and then became a board member of Kleinwort Benson, one of Britain's oldest merchant bank at the time. And that responsibility was always government, sovereign talks, negotiations, strategic finance, crisis management, and the territories were the Russian Federation, Central Europe, Baltics down to Croatia, then Central Asia, Middle East, all the way to Oman, and the African continent. I resigned in 2004 because I discovered that the banking system is corrupt. And since then, from then on, worked with my late father in Malaysia. When he got assassinated, we fled Malaysia back to Switzerland. Now I reside with my fiancée in Switzerland and in Paris, France.
Beautiful. Thank you, brother. One of the big things that's basically exploded in terms of the content you've been putting out is your recent videos where we talk about President Trump still being very much in control. I've been showing my audience for a long time now that what we've been seeing is a complete act. It's an actor, Robo Biden, as I like to call him. And obviously with Trump being the commander-in-chief and wartime president this entire time, is it okay just to share some information on that? Like, I know you've shared it on some recent videos, but especially in regards to Executive Order 13818.
Yeah, if I want to give your audience one link, go to Rumble, because YouTube WHO canceled my YouTube channel, believe it or not. WHO, I'm Swiss citizen in Geneva here. They canceled my YouTube channel. So anyway, since 1 year, I'm on Rumble. By the way, Tucker Carlson also joined Rumble. So yeah, you're with the right guys. I have no shares in Rumble. The Rumble channel is Neutral Swiss. All right, please put that up. I'll give you the links later, AJ. Mm-hmm. It's all uncensored. Also on Truth Social, which is President Trump's Twitter. Truth Social, I'm Najadi, at Najadi for justice. Now, all what I've been disclosing since November, and it's the word disclosure, please Google the word. Disclosure is not an opinion. Disclosure is also not newsmaking. Disclosure is defined as making something public that has most cases been formerly secret, i.e. now it's declassified or accessible for the public. Now there's a lot of stuff out there, and I'm sure everybody's frustrated because everybody seems to have the right solution. And I know this professor, forget it. And it's a bit arrogant, but I say we make the news. Why? Derek Johnson, buddy of mine, American veteran, military, younger than I am, a straight shooter, a man who lives by his word, always been, is a friend, a trusted allied associate of the current wartime president and commander-in-chief Trump. and General Flynn, etc., etc. And General Flynn also knows who I am. We know. The Derek Johnson has established. He went through thousands of executive orders and laws and military rules, current active orders. And it's a huge work. Federal registry. I mean, there's so much stuff out there. And he has condensed it. That's one of the brains he has for this. Yeah. He look at it, me too, at the chaotic situation and then filter it, if need be, in military and war, into one-page situation. What do we do about it? And he has established a disclosure site that is for you, for all of you, not just for some people in a circle or club. No, no, no. There's no membership. It's called thedocuments.info. It's unhackable. Some people try to hack it and destroy it. It's impossible to hack. And if anybody tries, the Space Force will know who was at it. But Derek Johnson is the man through which I came onto the track. There's not many tracks. There's one track of truth. And that's why I started communicating always with the title Disclosures, a disclosure. And the most recent disclosure, which is for everybody accessible now, is whitehouse.gov. There's a search function top right, 13818, the executive order. Just type in 13818. That's the one. Thank you very much. And let's read this.
Now,
let's use some time to read this out, if you allow me to. This is published now on the website of the White House. It is not a blog. It is a continuation. That means it's active of the national emergency. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to, you're all jaded, I know that, but a national emergency is not a virus or some stupid, whatever, fake news. It is when I have enemy aircraft bombing my capital. That's a national emergency. With respect, and now listen, please, emergency with respect to serious human rights abuse. The word serious, human rights abuse, and corruption means serious corruption. On December 20th, 2017, when President Trump, was in his first mandate, he has enacted this, authored, and signed and enacted this order 13818. And we just go to the second, please, paragraph, which reads, the prevalence and please note the words chosen. The prevalence and severity, severe, of human rights abuse, which means severe human rights abuse, killing people, and corruption that have their source in whole or substantial part, let's call it majority, outside the United States. Continue since 2017 to pose an unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security, foreign policy, and economy of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, this thing is not just a presidential executive order declaring a national emergency, which is bad enough. This is at the same time, and AJ, please correct me, a clear matter of national defense being attacked, and makes it a military order, an order to defend the nation. And you do that with the military. This is now disclosed, a bit backdated, 18th of December of a few weeks ago, last year. This is the final package of a disclosure that is so far possible to disclose by the US military and the current wartime president. It is a clear signal to all of you that you are safe. Nothing will happen to you, those who report the truth and report bad elements, rogue elements now, because it's evidence for you that this is a war operation. And I get to the other part of it. Why is President Trump wartime president? Because on the 20th of December, 2019, he has formed the United States Space Force and inaugurated it. That's first. The last time something was inaugurated by the US military was the Air Force. I think it was in the 50s as a military branch, or more 70 years ago. This is the youngest, since a long time, inauguration of a new independent US military branch, the sixth of the US military, and is the Space Force, USSF. It's very important for you to realize that. On the same day, President Trump has put under the War Powers Resolution Act 50, I think it's chapter 33 or 30, I can't remember now in my head, but I should know that, but today I had many numbers in my head. But anyway, Act 50, 33, I believe, War Powers Resolution Act. It's an act, it's law. He has put in section 1550. You must read this, where he not only declares war, a defense war, where he also he triggers allied military forces to join under the command of the United States military, the defense war, which is global. That includes the US territory, of course, because enemies have infiltrated, we know that. Deep state. The enemy is not throwing bombs on us, the people in Switzerland, in France, here in Paris, or in I don't know where. No. This is different. This is defense war. It is war. Warfare is mobilized. Ships are everywhere. Navy ships, US Navy. US Coast Guard, by the way, operates under the US Navy now. Go and check. That's only possible because the US Coast Guard normally operates under the Homeland Security. In the official website, you will not see this, but I'm disclosing this to you. You will see radar pictures of US Navy helicopters on US Coast Guard ships. That's impossible, unless in a medical emergency. They don't interoperate. They operate in different branches. But the Coast Guard, further evidence, is since 2019 working under the US Navy. It's integrated. Why? To enlarge the logistical capacity of this enormous war. I was told, I can disclose that more of a total of more than 24 allied military, please look at the word, allied military forces are in this alliance. It's a war alliance, an active war alliance, doing active duty. The exact list of nations, I don't know, but we have, with Derek Johnson, he's been kind enough to share radar pictures, which are not secret. They can Flight Radar 24 or what these things are called. We have tracked French Air Force, Italian Air Force, British material flying in US airspace and being stationed on US regional airports without any military attachments. That's only possible during war. So, in some airport between Idaho and Chicago, I don't know, on some field, you have a massive US Air Force contingent aircraft or European forces stationed overnight. Hello? Then we go further. Derek Johnson has given this to all of you. This website, this is hard work, isn't done this for ego. And by the way, the fact that he is able to do this, has been able to do this and share it now with us and you, tells you something else. He couldn't do this and publish this, believe you me, because during wartime, go and check the manuals, the US Law of War Manual 2015, updated July 2023, it's a thick book, is in force, applicable also in England, where you are, AJ, here in Paris, in France, in America, everywhere is applicable. The War Law Manual of the United States is in force because the United States are at war. So stop with your lawyers, save the money, because the state justice judiciaries, as we know, me too in Switzerland, is unreliable. I use kind words. President Trump uses a more poignant word called corruption. I call them unreliable, means the same thing, but it's a bit nicer. Don't waste your energy with lawyers trying to get you into some lawsuit against, forget it. We are past this. We are at war. You report this if you want to the US military, you can. Every embassy has an attachment. If there's a serious violation you observed, evidence, please do that. Report these people. Also pedophiles, report them. Because Operation Storm, I call it conveniently Operation Storm because I don't know the secret name, but I think when President Trump said storm, yeah, it fits the purpose. A storm is there to cleanse this one, not to destroy.
Mm-hmm.
It is to liberate all of us. It is and Trump said it in Washington in March on stage at the APEC. He said, I will totally obliterate the deep state. Ladies and gentlemen, as a businessman, as a citizen, as a president, as a minister of defense, you do not make that public statement and antagonize a force called the deep state, which is mafia, to make it simple, without having the red button that you could have already carried through or push it, right?
Yep, absolutely.
You don't. As a lawyer, in a negotiation, corporate affairs, you don't threaten the other side without having said, oh, here's the evidence. Okay, you can do that. But if you don't have this evidence, you don't threaten a judge. Or no, don't do that. You find another way. So people got to use their university, and it's not some MBA, excuse me, MBA guys, crap MBA diploma. No, it's here. University is in everybody's head, and it's owned by you, and you give the university your programming. And all we give you now is disclosure to read and comprehend, because that's what I warn you. If you don't now read what we disclose, then you will have a hard time to get to grips what is soon coming to surface, to light. The Operation Storm is still covert. You can call it clandestine. Clandestine is not illegal. Clandestine means really nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
And well, it's now covert. We know about it. We're disclosing it, giving you the federal registry links, giving you the Executive Order 13818. If you use your brains, you understand this is the war, this is the target, and the human rights abuse, severe and serious, is COVID-19. Now, Joe Biden, very important point. If I say Trump is president, yes, he's wartime president. Why? On the 20th of December 2019, he declared war. The Space Force was formed, made him, after Roosevelt, the second in history of the United States wartime president. Now, that's a statute. That's a legal statute. That is, you have unfettered, without Congress, full, as it should be, commander-in-chief, full power in a war to decide absolutely everything, including media, everything. And like censorship, because that's war now, all right? Now, the status of wartime president is only reversed, not through election, through a peace agreement or a declaration of conflict resolution or a simple ending of the conflict war by the wartime president. Then the person goes back to president. And I can tell you another thing. We are not taking down the global deep state and expose the rogue governments that have betrayed us and our constitutions, 194 nations and leaders and ministers and stuff, and judiciaries. We're not doing all this hard work since 2019 just to have another government come to power or some other, fat politician promising the blue sky to the people. It's over. Democracies are over. Plato said democracies don't work. And you know what? The guy was right. Absolutely. The dude was absolutely spot on. Parliaments all political systems and democracies will be cancelled, removed.
Yep.
All the responsible people, and I hope they watch this now, have been already and will be judged right now under the Law of War Manual 2015 of the United States for crimes against humanity and corruption and pedophilia too. And we will not replace them with new, fresh elections and new chances for some political parties to evolve. Forget it. It's gone. It's over. That system is the old world of the so-called New World Order, fake news, deep state. We're going to simple military administration, and the Uniform Code of United States Military Justice is then the basis. And the courts are military courts. Everything gets resolved there. The military officers who are judges, they have no salary in particular. They have no Bentleys or golf course memberships or to worry about or fancy dresses. They are officers. They are military judges, and they're doing their job under strict internal military intelligence, etc., etc. So it's the end of corruption from government. And this all is done not against us. This is not a reset of Schwab. This is our hard reset. It's a factory reset to keep the Apple laptop. We like it and the freedoms of it. But we're protecting the software now. And that's the people. And the software is the Constitution. And the Constitution is already now, by the way, you can refer to it to Magna Carta, is protected by the US Law of War Manual already today. And Trump promised it. People didn't listen. He said, we will give the power back to the people. He said it. Trump never broke his words. His word, never. His word is his bond. I can tell you this, okay? It's the way it is. The dude, this man, is not just a talk machine on a talk show like all these politicians that we had. No. He and the US military are in charge. And now you will ask me, Biden. Well, he was executed and buried on the 20th of January 2021 under the US Law of War Manual, which is in force, as I just told you, for high treason and human rights abuse, which means crimes against humanity, COVID, the PSYOPs, which was started by Obama, Clinton's helped, Fauci, Biden, and many others, Tedros, Swiss ministers. We don't know. We'll find out when they are executed. WEF. So don't be afraid about the WEF, please. It's just laughable. Don't. Just go worry about your children and family, how they do in school, and get them away from this LGBT stuff. That's something you have to worry about. Everything is under control. It's the largest military operation ever assembled in human mankind's history, ever. The Second World War, AJ, correct me, it was 14 visible generals, but it was ultimately 4 allied components with the Russian Marshal Turkov. Let's not forget the Soviets who really exterminated the Nazis. And now we have 200. That's what I have confirmed, disclosed. Derek Johnson also, he disclosed 200 active duty right now, military generals. Now, AJ, you've been in the military in active duty. Me too. We don't have generals in our country, but a general has a huge pyramid of massive warfare material, planes, depends which branch you are, munitions, and men and women that serve this general, this department. 200. Ladies and gentlemen, the Second World War was 4. Now we have 200 at work. I calculated through some other disclosures, and I then collate, which is legit. I collate, not speculate, I collate. It's about 800 that are totally, globally at work to take down the globalist deep state and all attached elements like rogue leaders, rogue ministers, corruption, pedophiles, judges, magistrates, prosecutors, bankers, Swiss banks. They will be obliterated, have been obliterated already, and many of them will be obliterated by the US military justice. Now, people ask me, why do we see Biden on television and Kamala Harris? And you see Biden, oh, I don't know where I'm going. And then, Air Force One, he falls down the stairs. It's a brilliant man. Mostly it's Arthur Roberts. They shift him a bit.
From central casting.
It's central casting. So I also made a film. I'm a film producer in Switzerland. I was. Central casting is a special discipline in filmmaking. Then you have to make a docudrama about a real political story. You need to find an actress or an actor which really resembles from the general bone structure and height and physiognomy the protagonists. And then they have to have the similar voice. Voices don't change normally. But if you take recordings of Joe Biden, real Joe Biden, like years ago, the voice never changes. And take fake Joe Biden, then you see it. It's immediate.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a central casting operation. And they say, why? Because the enemy is the global deep state. And you have to entrap these people first with stratagems. So the central casting operation is a kaleidoscope of stratagems. Mine was in Switzerland to trap the Swiss government with their fraud. I'm a victim of Pfizer. I'm dying of it. And this stratagem has been locked shut now, end of December last year. That's why that's why now you see Executive Order 13818, boom, as the war plan, which is active. That's it, really.
And this is what I was saying to Pascal, to people very well, the last few months of obviously the Biden we've been seeing is absolutely not the Biden. And everyone can see that a mile off just from looking at them. The difference
no, he's not. Of course not. No. I want to make it clear. Joe Biden has been executed. He's dead. Kamala Harris too, for high treason. And then people say there's elections. And I say, really? Democratic Party elections? Hey, guys, wake up. Have you seen the ardent Democrat leader, the traitor, Kenyan-born traitor, infiltrated, Obama on stage, rallying for Biden? Have you seen Mrs. Years ago, they would be on stage every day, right? In Chicago, in New York.
Massive purse.
Democratic Party. Where's Mrs. Clinton? Where is climate panic idiot John Kerry gone? Where are those showmasters which were so hungry for spotlight, weren't they? They were very much narcissistic, right? Speeches, universities. Where are these people?
Yeah, yeah.
They're not there. They're not there anymore, right? So I just explained to you the legal fact. Wartime president has no election, doesn't need election. It's at war, can't have the president change in a war. And I just informed you, disclosed to you that all systems will be taken down.
Yeah.
We will not have elections anymore. Point blank. We won't. Because the political systems, democracies will be cancelled. Yeah. Therefore, no elections. That's it.
There's no one to elect.
Xi has gone a bit already ahead of it. President Xi, and respect him, please, he's part of it, of us, I mean, the alliance. President Xi is already President Xi is already lifetime president. I mean, General Secretary, or what do you call that? Chairman of the, Communist Party, the Chinese Communist Party, or China, the People's Republic. And who else is with us? Of course, President Putin.
Putin, yeah.
Ukraine is deep state. 140 laboratories were evidenced, bombed by Putin's people, the military, because they were harboring the coronavirus. It's evidenced. The NATO commander, a Canadian commander, has been captured early on in the conflict and is in Moscow singing like a bird every day in prison. And everything is revealed. I don't have access to those files. They will be presented at the right time. But Zelensky, the Ukro-Nazis, they got the 100 billion from Biden. Yeah. So the US military and the US government, the real government, the Trump's, the presidency, could track the money. And what did they find out? Oh, it went to NATO pockets. Oh, it went to Ukrainian politicians buying expensive houses in Gstaad, St. Moritz, Switzerland, in Miami, in
Spain,
Italy,
Marbella,
south of France.
Yeah.
Oh, they bought a yacht with that money. Oh, the weapon serial numbers, they end up with Hamas, NATO weapons. So
they weren't getting to the Ukrainian soldiers, were they? they weren't
Sorry?
getting to they weren't getting to the Ukrainian soldiers. The Ukrainian
Of
soldiers were
course
being
not.
used like mosquitoes with very, very little.
Of course not. It's
Mm,
tragic. Of course it is tragic. Every war, and you've been there, is tragic. No one wants war. But
mhm,
this war is to end all wars. I don't talk about the Ukrainian war. I talk about Operation Storm now. It's a
mm,
war operation. Is to end all the wars. That's the nicest thing of war. If you can end with a one war, a big one, all other wars. And the there is no US troops on Ukrainian soil. Not one.
mm,
The US military, of course, is coordinating with the US military, there's a Russian military command. And if people remember Helsinki 2018, it was was it the 16th or 17th of July in Helsinki when President Putin and President Trump met? They had a great meeting. Great, you could see it, very relaxed, very cool. And they made a press conference, very relaxed, very relaxed. And Putin, who never makes a joke really, took the football and gave it to him
They gave him the
and
soccer
said,
ball.
"Oh," yeah, the soccer ball, and said, the ball is now in your court. That was after they have agreed in Helsinki, devised a plan and agreed to work together to create not only peace, lasting peace, but to take out the deep state and all other attached
Yeah.
corrupt rogue elements like von der Leyen, all these idiots, Stoltenberg, they're finished. And now the beauty about all this is, people, 95% of the war is won. No, the war has been won, but don't relax in the sense, be vigilant about reporting violations. Don't stop that. But relax in the sense you can really, and take it from me now, and don't thank me for it, thank the two presidents and all the military personnel that are in active war duty and their families supporting them. Thank those people, not me. They, they deserve, they deserve your thank you. You can relax. What you've seen is a film, and every film has an ending. And
Absolutely.
this one is a happy end. It is a happy end.
Hmm.
And the 5% that I mentioned are not done yet is the grand finale, is when Operation Storm will appear very soon, on all streets, but peaceful. You know, those leaders like Schwab and my government here, they have no jets or navy ships to fight back. The military justice comes to their officers and says, come with us, please. It's very peaceful. There's no chaos or fusillade like in Africa when there's a coup d'etat. No, 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 no. Remember, it's not against the country. It's taking out the rogue elements. And they have no weapons. Maybe one of two of them will try to run. But when they appear, when Operation Storm synchronized in all cities, surfaces at the same time, day or night, doesn't matter, same time. It's the hour X, day X, which I don't know. Soon, I can tell that it's soon. There will be silence, radio silence. The media will be cut off, all of it. The media responsibles that have committed crimes will be arrested as well immediately. Editors, shareholders of media corporations, journalists that wrote articles to petrify the public into the injections. All of those people, we have evidence. The evidence is everywhere. It's all cataloged. Everything is in detail. Will be picked up all of the same time. That's where the manpower goes, is to pick them up, really. Some might want to run, but they can't. No planes, no trains, no taxis, no helicopters, no private jets, no drones, nothing. No ATMs. The ATMs will not work. Why? Not to damage us and to give us a hard time. No, we'll be in a lockdown, in a military curfew, order to shoot. It will be communicated and you stay home. That's all you do. Everything is fine. Everything is controlled. Emergency service will function. No internet. Only one channel, which is military channel, will communicate us, the public, why this is happening in a very relaxed fashion. No panic. And will ask us kindly and instruct us to stay at home, because the looters, the bad people, bad and sick people who use that to damage our cars or try to ransack honest shop of our neighbors, they will be shot. Not imprisoned, shot. But if everybody knows the rules, only the crazy ones, then they'll be shot. That's bad luck. I mean, it's their problem, not our problem. So it will be quiet, about 10 days, maybe 10, 14 days max. I disclose that to you. It's not a virus, of course. I said it in the Napoleon's tomb on Friday to these people. A virus is coming for you and you have no vaccine. And the virus is called the US Space Force, because the US Space Force since August 22, which is my birth month, is the control and command center, so the control and communication center, also firing control, of all US military branches, all of them, US Navy, US Air Force, National Guard, everything is under one roof. The US Space Force is the war command center. And the virus is the US Space Force, and those bad and sick people have no vaccine for the US Space Force. It's coming for them now.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them know it already. And the beauty is they are entrapped by our stratagems that we locked. What happens if the Swiss Federal Council now makes a runner tomorrow? He goes to Brazil. It's pretty obvious. Hey, the guy is not in the office. Where is he? Is he dead? No, he's not dead. Oh, he made a runner. Oh, boom. We're at war. Mm-hmm. So that's the way it's going to happen. There's no ambiguity about this. This is fact. Yeah. All the haters and bashers out there, don't be jealous about me. I'm not doing this for fun or ego. I have no financial means or gains, and I have no political ambitions, certainly not politics. I'm doing this as a victim for all of you, talking to AJ now, disclosing. And I want to thank Derek Johnson, my buddy, American, great patriot, military veteran, who made this great disclosure site, the documents.info. Everybody has to read this stuff now. It's not opinion, it's disclosure. Google the word disclosure. Yeah. Look, this is, in a nutshell, the short of the long.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was doing a monologue. I hope everybody got the message. Again, this is not trying to sell you an idea. No, this is not trying to convince you. You don't have to believe me. We don't really care. We don't need your likes. We don't need nothing from you. Really not.
Yeah, and on that, Pascal, in terms of like personnel, we're very aware of like the severity of the crimes against humanity, like, across the whole planet, on we the people using the obviously the fake virus and the subsequent new medicine. Do you agree, and has there like come across your sort of research that like many of the medical professionals that went completely against that oath of first do no harm all around the world are going to be very much in that cohort of people that get rounded up as well?
Of course. The law of war manual includes the statutes of Rome. And after this, I will send you 3 links. Well, 2 links. Do you have the order 13818 already? I will send you the Act 50, War Powers Resolution Act 50, USC 1550. Mm-hmm. And the text contains laws in effect on January 22nd, 24. That's yesterday, updated, valid. And I will send you the link to the United States Law of War Manual. Okay?
Brilliant. Thank you.
And the Rome statutes are included. That includes crimes against humanity through bioweapon, the mRNA, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, all these were bioweapons. These are bioweapon, not medicine. Mm-hmm. Now we know it. And again, don't waste time with lawyers. Forget it. Forget it. The US military is taking care of it, really. Mm-hmm. No need to do anything. Except file your damage, of course, like me. I had lab reports that prepare that stuff. Mm-hmm. Those doctors, it's beautiful for them. All their, because we had this health pass, remember this stupid QR code? Yeah. When we went to the vaccination center, well, it's all there. It's all in the database. At what time they were putting the needle in, which day, and it's registered which doctor. They will be charged, all of them, no exceptions, and there are millions. And the people say, "Oh, we don't have enough doctors." Well, we don't need those doctors. There's plenty of new generation coming now. And they made not only a sermon on the Bible, do no harm. That's one thing. But the legal act in every country, it was required to get the informed consent in writing with my signature. Yes, I want turbo cancer. Yes, I accept myocarditis as they call it side effect. It's unfortunately a primary effect of a weapon. And only if I would have signed this list with the listing of the so-called adverse effects of this injection and sign, I've read this, I agree and sign, then this paper must go 10 years into my medical file as evidence.
Yep.
Then the injection is not criminal because it's experimental. Okay, at that time, somebody could have said, I want this, fine. But it wasn't done, as you know, and the government's unhinged the own laws and regulations, meaning also violation of the Constitution by not demanding informed consent. So the whole chain will be punished. Of course, the executors of 20 million people and countless children that are dead already. I just got a phone call this morning from Switzerland. We live in the mountains, 2 hours from Geneva. It's hard for me. Our baker, 60-something, has passed away of myocarditis because of the injections 2 days ago. And his nephew died in a different hospital, 42 years old, an hour later. Wow. Same cause. Now, I always say, and I don't want to speak for President Trump, that's not my right, not my duty. But if I can, I think I know what we all think, how we think in the military. They have crossed the red line. There's only one red line. And they have done a beyond biblical attack on the human species. It's a democide, not a genocide. Genocide, you know that from AJ, from your rules when you were on the duty, is a race, a skin color, an orientation, a flag.
Yeah.
Exterminating somebody from that property. But this is babies to my old mother and grandmas and stuff. So it's a democide, democide, attack on the human species, beyond biblical. That's what they've done. And I want everybody to understand what I'm saying now. Our response now has been and is now multiple beyond biblical. After this, for 1,000 years, not one, even the most sickest and bad person will ever dare to even think about doing the same.
Absolutely.
Again.
Absolutely. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we can't reiterate, enough that, enough is enough. And everyone's experienced their own experiences over the last 4 years, especially. Now it's our time, we the people, to take back our land, take back our countries, our constitutions, our education systems, our medical systems, our finance system, all of it.
Everything. The US military war alliance is doing that for us the way it should be. And that's, I commend the two biggest presidents involved. This is President Trump, current wartime president, commander-in-chief, Donald J. Trump, and President Vladimir Putin, under his coordination of Trump. And that's the way it is. There's no two ways about it. We have to thank all the service members, men and women, not trans, men and women, who are doing active duty, who cannot talk at home to the families. Can you imagine? They cannot tell them. Up to now, they couldn't tell them. Since 2019, they've done a great job. Not one
100%.
leak. Not one. We're not doing leaks here. We're doing disclosure, which is declassified, and we only refer to .mil and .gov websites, which are United States property, and obviously not blogs and some other rubbish. So this was important, AJ, that we could meet. Any other questions? Please ask me now.
But I only have one final question, and that is,
sure.
What positive message do you have to leave the people with today? Many people have been following me for a long time now. They get it. They know we've been in this large military operation, which I've been trying to show people for a long time. You've just basically explained in the great detail and hammered home the really important points of why that is what we've experienced. But in terms of moving forward, what positive message can we leave with the amazing, beautiful people that just want to see a new world?
First of all, I think I would like with you, AJ, to share tears, offer condolences to all fellow humans who have had to lose their loved ones, family members, friends through this abhorrent democide, which was state-sponsored by our own government. And the tragedy is unfathomable. It's unspeakable. I know that myself. I'm also dying from this stuff. My fiancée, thank God not. She's not injected. What I can also tell you, I can disclose to you, is that the US military, President Trump with warp speed, they have diffused most of the charges. They have broken the protocols. The protocol was to have it frozen minus 30 degrees from the factory, from the storage to the vaccination center. Well, the US military has changed everything, so the formulas fell apart, many of them. And you know that so-called placebo, yeah, there's a lot of simple salines now out there.
Yeah.
And thank God, we unfortunately will lose more than 1 billion still people. We have lost 20 million, and now it's accelerating because now myocarditis, it takes time. The weapon kills 1,000 different ways. But again, not all of you will have to go through the sufferings I go through, or others had to endure or were killed, because the current wartime President Trump and the US military have diffused all that stuff as much as they could.
Yeah.
And so never give up the spirit. I think if you're aligned with yourself and take care, you're a guardian. All members of the US Space Force are guardians, not soldiers. And we are the guardians of humanity, and our light obliterates now and already the darkness of evil. Always.
Absolutely.
It's logic. And keep that spirit. And I think take care of your family and friends, the good friends, the real friends. Materialism is not the answer now. It's all not important anymore. Humanity is first, and the well-being of all of us is first. The governments or the administrations that work and will work for us under military rule will serve the people, the constitution. And be vigilant and make your reportings now. Don't go to the police station because they're just either not informed or not, prepare the files for the US military, because it all become one central office collecting all those evidences that you may have. If you know pedophiles, report them to the military, US military. That's the best way to do it. And don't despair. What is going to happen is not fun, by the way. It sounds like funny. No. This is brutal in a sense, not because there's tanks on the roads, no, but everything will change for the better for humanity. But the experience is everything what you were used to in the past will not, thank God, no longer be there. There will be a new system. And how exactly it will look like, I don't know. That's a secret. And it should remain that way. And it's definitely better than anything ever for humanity. Because if you look at it in history of humankind, this is probably the first time in a global effort where humanity gets liberated from the thousands of years existing Khazarian mafia and deep state and rogue politics. And a new era will start. So that's my advice to people. Have faith. And please, we have disclosed to you now, AJ, through him, disclosure. And I give now to AJ those links. Please use them as check and verifying elements. You must do that now yourself. If you don't do it, you will have a hard time to experience a hard landing. And we don't want that now. That's why we are allowed to disclose. And that's what we're doing. And by the way, don't expect any press conference from Trump saying, I'm going to, no. In a military operation, the last thing you do is a press conference about your ongoing war. And this won't happen. And don't expect your government, don't trust your government at the moment, just don't. And don't trust any newspapers, mainstream. Throw your TV out of the window. Watch AJ's channel. Go to my Telegram. I'm disclosing, I'm not reposting crap, sorry to use my French, of other people. I'm doing my own news. We make the news now. And this is all referenced news to .mil.gov. That's all I can tell you. We cannot do more than that. We can't.
Yeah.
Anything else would be invention. And we can't. We don't want to, and we can't. And we cannot share military secrets because we don't carry such secrets. We don't want to carry them, and we don't need to carry them. I want the military operation to be, as it is, secret at the moment. And they're doing the right thing. They're professionals at work. And AJ, you have been in the field with comrades and with commanders. You've been with good people, I'm sure. You've also seen some stupid ones like I had in my military, and we know them too. But the competent ones, we have the best now at work. And some of them are risking their lives, by the way, to do the duty call. And my respect goes to all of them and all of humanity, that we could go and survive this together, because it's the most exciting time ever.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
And at the Space Force, to finish off, we always say, Semper Supra, always above. That's the motto of the Space Force, US Space Force. The Marines, which are also very important, and the President's choice for protection, are Semper Fi. Many people know that one. But because the Space Force is new, I'd like to market them a bit with you guys, and the kids as well, the young guys looking now. Space Force is great. Go to the website. It's a great website. It won't disclose what I've told you, that they're the central hub. That's more the registry stuff, which is complicated to analyze, but we give you the references. But the Space Force, we say, or they say, Semper Supra, Latin for always above. Humanity is always above, and we are trading relationships with space that we always had.
Absolutely, brother. My kind of language.
Semper Supra.
Guys and girls, I'm sure you can join me in giving Pascal huge thanks for joining us today and to share all the information that he has with us. It's great to have someone like Pascal on the show, and at this time to back up everything that, like myself, Derek Johnson, and other people out there have been showing people over the last few years, just collating all that information together to show you that we have actually been in war this whole time under a wartime president. It's been a war on our minds. It's been a psychological war, been a war on us financially. You don't have to experience bombs and bullets. It's a war on gender. It's a war on our children. It's a war on our communities. It's a war on our health. Okay, all of it. It's a multifaceted attack on we the people, and has been for a number of years now. And we're at this precipice point, this massive tipping point. It's tipped right over the edge. We've won. All right, they're on their way out. Okay, so this is the big cleanup operation. This is where we get rid of the very people, the judiciary systems, the child protection services, within the police, within some of the military, the pharmaceutical industry, like all of it. There's all been an attack on media to suppress all of us. So now is our time to seek that justice that we all deserve. But please go and follow Pascal's work. I'll put all the show notes in and links in the notes for everybody. But guys and girls, please, exactly what Pascal said. Right, now is a time to really look within your own family household, to know and to step forward into your roles now coming into 2024, because we are going into very much a new earth, a very exciting new earth. It's going to be co-created by us, we the people. But for me and Pascal, much love, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you all once again soon on the
All the best.